another chapter of Meeting of the Minds by LizzeXX. We are on chapter 5, which is the part 4 of the Christmas invasion. So, if you want to follow along, chapter link to both Archive and Fanfiction.net are in the description below for you to pick and choose. There's not really any difference, except Archive has pictures for like one per episode sort of thing. So, we haven't seen the picture yet, so it's either in this chapter or the next chapter for this episode. So let's just get right into this, shall we? With Chapter 5, The Christmas Invasion. Tea cures everything. Harry and Mickey lunge forward to try and help Rose, but the cigarettes pulled them back. No, don't! Angel managed to pull herself out of the guard's grip and run in front of Rose, holding up her hands in peace. I am speaking to the cigarettes under jurisdiction 2 of the Intergalactic Rules of Engagement. I request parley in compliance with the shadow propagation. Do you accept? She really hoped they did. That was as far as her attention had gotten her in her intergalactic relation class at the academy. This was the culmination of years of schooling, and she only barely remembered it. Stick her in front of a TARDIS and she could rattle off its entire history. Give her a math equation, it could take her hours. The cigarettes fell silent once more as the humans stared at her in shock before the leader asked her something. Who speak? Alex began. Yes, thank you, Angel cut in. I can understand it well enough. She took a breath and squared herself, trying to be as confident as the doctor always seemed, despite the fact she was pretty sure she'd mucked this up too. I am the Angel of Gallifrey? She hesitated before adding, Nice to meet you? The cigarettes eyed her now with a small amount of wonder at her announcement before speaking. Alex looked around a moment before starting to translate for the humans at least. You should have spoken first, instead of her with the stolen words. We may have given pause. Instead, she insults us with her mockery. Alex pauses, and Harriet closed her eyes in despair, wondering why Rose hadn't just let the girl talk in the first place. We are the cigarettes. We astride the darkness. Next to us, you are but a wailing child. If you are the best your planet can offer as a champion, then your world will be gutted, the cigarette said in English. Then your world will be gutted, Alex continued as Rose and the Angel stared. And your people enslaved, Alex looked up. Hold on, that's English. He's talking English. Harriet's eyes widened. You're talking English. Rose blinked at the leader. Oh, thank God. Angel breathed, know what that meant. I would never dirty my tongue with your fermented bile, the leader shouted. That's English. Rose pointed at him, backing up a bit, before turning to Harriet, Mickey, and Alex. Can you hear English? Yeah, that's English, Mickey agreed, as they all nodded. Definitely English. I only speak cigarette-sick, the leader yelled. If I can hear English, Rose began, slowly, realizing that it's being translated, which means it's working, which means... She turned around slowly to look at the TARDIS, everyone following suit. The doors swung open. There, standing, smiling in his pajamas and dressing gown, was the doctor. Did you miss me? Rose smiled in delight as Angel just closed her eyes tight, tears in them. So relieved he was all right. The leader roared in fury and lashed his whip at the doctor, who just caught the end and pulled it away from him, tossing it to the side. You could have someone's eye out with that. The leader roared again, trying to attack the staff, but the doctor just snatched it and snapped it over his knee. You just can't get the staff. Now you, just wait. I'm busy. The leader stared incredulously as the doctor pointed to him warningly, looking around. Mickey! He greeted. Hello? And then he saw Harriet. And Harriet Jones, MP for Florida down the North. Blimey, it's like this is your life. He turned to Rose, beaming. Tea, that's all I need. Needed? A good cup of tea. Superheated, usual of a free radical lieutenant. Just the thing for healing synapses. You should have let Angel help, Mickey muttered to Rose, thinking about all that tea Angel had been trying to give him. The doctor turned around, looking for the missing time lady, only to see her standing behind him, seemingly just barely managing not to cry. He frowned and walked over to her, completely ignoring the aliens and humans around him at seeing that. Hey, you alright? She swallowed hard. Better? What's wrong? He reached out to touch her, but she stepped back. One third of the Earth is being controlled by them. She took a breath. Deal with them first. Or second, she added, smiling just a bit. He nodded and spun around. She's right. First things first. He walked over to Rose and wanted to give Angel a moment to gather herself. Be honest, how do I look? Um, different, Rose replied. Good different or bad different? Just different. Am I Ginger? He asked, dead serious. She looked up at his hair. No, you're just sort of brown. Oh, I wanted to be Ginger. He turned around, pouting. I've never been Ginger. He turned, pointing at her violently. And you, Rose Tyler, fat lot good you were, you gave up on me. He cut off suddenly. Oh, that's rude. That's the sort of man I am now, am I? That's the sort of man I am now, am I? Rude? He pondered it a moment. Rude and not Ginger. I'm sorry, who is this? Harriet frowned. I'm the doctor, he smiled. He's the doctor. Rose nodded. But what happened to my doctor? Harriet asked. Or is it just a title that's passed on? The doctor walked over to her. I'm him. I'm literally him. Same man you face. Well, do everything. But you can't be. Harriet Jones. We were trapped in Downing Street. The one thing that scared you wasn't the aliens, wasn't the war. It was the thought of your mother being on her own. Oh my God. Did you win the election? She smiled. Please. Landslide majority. If I might interrupt, the leader sneered. They all spun around, almost forgetting he was there. Yes, sorry. Hello, big fella. Who exactly are you? Well, he grinned. That's the question. I demand to know who you are. I don't know. He imitated the leader's roar before relaxing. See, there's the thing. I'm the doctor. But beyond that, I just don't know. I literally do not know who I am. It's all untested. He walked around, looking at people. Am I funny? Am I sarcastic? Sexy? He turned around suddenly and winked at Angel, who smiled a bit. Right old misery, life and soul, right-handed, left-handed, a gambler, a fighter, a coward, a traitor, a liar, and a resurrect. I mean, judging by the evidence, I'm still a talker? Angel supplied with a laugh. He beamed at her. She had such a beautiful laugh. Oh yes, always. Before his gaze was captured by the cigarette's button. And how am I going to react when I see this? He pointed out with an insane smile. A great big threatening button. He ran up the stairs laughing. A great big threatening button which must not be pressed under any circumstances. Am I right? Oh yes. Some sort of control matrix? Hold on. What's reading it? He bent down and pulled open a small door to access the controls underneath, frowning at the sight of a red liquid. What we got here? Blood? He dipped his finger in and tasted it. Yeah, definitely blood. Human blood. A positive with just a dash of iron. He waggled his tongue around at the nasty taste and wiped his finger off. Ah, but that means... He looked at Angel, encouraging her to answer. Blood control? Angel called, guessing. Blood control! He grinned, very pleased. Oh, I haven't seen blood control in years. You're controlling all the A positives. The cigarette's grin faltered slightly, which leaves us with a great big stinking problem. Because I really don't know who I am. Don't know where to stop. So, if I see a great big threatening button which should never ever be pressed, then I just want to do this. He whacked his hand down on it. No! Frozen Angel Harriet cried. All the A positives standing on the rooftop suddenly took a step forward, like they were about to step off, before falling backwards, looking around confused. What the hell am I doing up here? Sandra's husband called. Get away from the edge! She shouted, pulling him back. You killed them! Alex shouted. What do you think, Angel? He leaned over the bar to look down at her, to see her smiling, his heart flickering at the sight, despite the fact he could see unshed tears still lingering in them. Huh? He turned to the cigarettes. I had it, big fella. Are they dead? We allow them to live, the leader replied tersely. Allow? The doctor snorted. You got no choice. I mean, that's all blood control is. Cheap bit of voodoo. Steals pants off you, but that's as far as it goes. It's like hypnosis. You can hypnotise someone to walk like a chicken or sing like Elvis. You can't hypnotise them to death. Survival instinct's too strong. Blood control is just one form of conquest. I can summon the Armada and take this world by force. Well, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could do that. Of course you could. The doctor stepped down and turned to look at the leader. Why? Look at these people. He gestured to the humans, speaking passionately. These humans beings. Consider their potential. From the day they arrive on the planet and blink step into the sun. There is more to see than can ever be seen. More to do than that's the Lion King. Angel cut in softly. They'd gone on a bit of Disney kick a while ago when they realised Angel had never even heard of it. They plopped down and had a marathon of classic Disney movies. The Lion King was one of her favourites. She rather loved Rafiki. Is it? He gave her a smile, as though he never knew full well that it was, before looking at the cigarettes again. But the point still stands. Leave them alone! Or what? The leader demanded. Or the doctor trailed, grabbing a sword from one of the guards and running to the empty space in front of the TARDIS, raising it in the air. I challenge you. All the cigarettes burst out laughing. Oh, that struck a chord. Am I right that the sanctified rules of combat still apply? The leader walked down the steps, pulling out his own sword. You stand as this world's champion? He shrugged off his dressing gown. Thank you. I've no idea who I am, but you've just summed me up, and tossed it over to Rose. So, you accept my challenge, or are you just a... Hold on. Kanak Pella Kaskakri Salvak. Ada had to give a small laugh at that as the leader hissed, but especially when the doctor winked at her again. And she realised, winking, joking, quoting the Lion King, he was trying to cheer her up, to make her laugh. I was just like him too. Yes, still the same old doctor, just with a different personality. The doctor and the leader knelt on the ground with their swords. For the planet? It asked. For the planet, the doctor agreed. They stood and faced each other, holding their swords at the ready. Does he even know how to handle a sword? Mickey asked. We're at war, Mickey, Angel called back, uneasy with the knowledge. There's few weapons we don't know how to use. And she hated that. She hated guns, she hated weapons in general. It was her belief that using them just took away small parts of someone's soul in the process. She'd seen it during the war. It was especially obvious in the younger Time Lords who fought. Children. They were just so young, so impressionable. She could never imagine letting her own child fight in such a way. Swore she'd never ever let her son or daughter become a soldier like that. Not ever. The doctor and the leader ran at each other, fighting. After a few seconds, the doctor was thrown aside and the leader laughed. The doctor just stood again and they continued. Look out! Rose yelled as the leader swung his sword at the doctor. Oh yeah, that helped, he called back sarcastically. Wouldn't have thought that otherwise. Thanks. They started fighting again, the doctor climbing up the stairs backwards, leading the leader out. Bit of fresh air. He hit a button and a door opened to a platform outside the ship. They kept fighting, the group and the cigarettes following until the leader managed to catch the doctor slightly on the nose. He groaned. Rose moved to run forward, but Angel pulled her back. If you stop the challenge, then the cigarettes win the planet by default, she told the woman. The doctor nodded his thanks at her, wiping his nose and turning to the leader, clashing their swords together, locking them. They both strained with effort before the doctor was knocked backwards to the ground, licking a slash at the doctor's wrists, cutting his hand off. It fell down the side of the ship, sword and all. He watched it drop and looked back at the leader, stunned and annoyed. You cut my hand off. Yeah! The leader shouted. Cigarettes! The doctor just got to his feet. I know what sort of man I am. I'm lucky, because quite by chance, I'm still within the first 15 hours of my regeneration cycle, which means I've just got enough residual cellular energy to do this. He held up his stump of an arm, growing his hand right back. Witchcraft! Time Lord! Doctor! Rose shouted, grabbing one of the guard's swords and tossing it to him. He caught it by the handle and spun it around. Well, so I'm still the doctor then. No arguments from me, Rose smiled. He turned back to the leader. Wanna know the best bit? This new hand. He assumed a Texan accent. It's a fighting hand. He ran at the leader and the fight resumed. They fought a few more moments before the doctor got him hard in the stomach with the hilt of his sword. The group winced as the leader groaned. The doctor did it twice more, causing the leader to fall to the ground. He pointed his sword at the leader's throat. I win. Then kill me, it groaned. I'll spare your life if you take this champion's command. Leave this planet and never return. What do you say? Yes. He pushed the sword closer, angrier and more serious than they've ever seen him. Swear on the blood of your species. I swear. He grinned lightly. There we are then. Thanks for that. Cheers, big fella. He jabbed the sword into the ground and turned to them. Bravo, Harriet clapped. That says it all. Rose ran forward. Bravo. Mickey looked over at Angel as she watched on sadly. She had moved to run forward as well, but Rose had bolted out first, so she hung back. Yeah, the doctor grinned. Not bad for a man in his gym jams. Rose helped him back into the gown. Very confident. Now, there was a nice man. Hold on, what have I got here? He pulled out a satsuma from his pocket as Rose giggled. Mickey, Angel called and looked over. You may want to move over 2 steps to the left. He frowned, but did so anyway, stepping away from a large button on the wall. A satsuma! The doctor laughed, tossing the satsuma in his hand. Ah, that friend of your mother's. He does like his snacks, doesn't he? That just sums up Christmas. They started walking back towards the door. You go through all those presents, and right at the end, tucked away at the bottom, is always one stupid old satsuma. Who was the satsuma? Behind them, the LizzeXX leader got to his feet, picking up his sword, roaring as he charged at them. Without even turning around, the doctor lobbed the satsuma at a switch on the side of the ship beside Mickey, causing the ground beneath the leader to open, sending him tumbling to earth. His smile faded as he stopped by the door and glanced at Angel. No, he answered the question she had asked long ago. No second chances. He turned and walked back in. I'm that sort of man. He strode through the ship till he stood before the TARDIS with the others, addressing the rest of the LizzeXX. By the ancient rites of combat, I forbid you to scavenge here for the rest of the time. And when you go back to the stars and tell others of this planet, when you tell them of its riches, its people, its potential, when you talk of the Earth, then make sure that you tell them this. It is defended. And then they were all teleported away, materializing on a street near the Power Estate. Where are we? Rose looked around. We just saw off Bloxham Road. Mickey laughed. We're just round the corner. We did it! He whooped. The doctor held out his hand as the spaceship ended side up. Wait a minute, wait a minute. The ship took off, flying away, and the doctor grinned. Oh, go on, my son. Oh, yeah. Yeah! Rose jumped on Mickey's back. Don't come back. It is defended, Mickey added, both of them laughing happily till Rose jumped off his back and hugged him, and then Alex as well. Angel eyed them before moving back to lean against the TARDIS, just watching as the doctor approached Harriet. Hi, Doctor. Harriet held her arms out. Prime Minister, he greeted, hugging her. Absolutely the same man, she remarked, pulling away after a moment. He smiled at her as they both looked up at the sky. Are there many more out there? Oh, not just cigarettes. Hundreds of species. Thousands of them. The human race is drawing attention to itself. Every day you'll sending out probes and messages and signals. This planet's so noisy. You're getting noticed. More and more. He looked at her. You better get used to it. Rose! Jackie called, running around the corner. Mum! Rose ran to her. Oh, the doctor mock groaned. Talking in trouble? Oh my god, oh my god! Jackie gasped. You said Rose! Oh! The doctor smiled, watching as Mickey joined Jackie and Rose. You did too, Rose laughed. It was the tea. Fixed his head. That's all I need. Cup of tea, he grinned. I said so. Jackie giggled. Yeah, you should have let Angel give him the tea when she wanted to, Mickey continued, nudging Rose. But you're all, no, he doesn't need tea, and we don't need your help, and it's all your fault, and the doctor's grin steadily faded hearing that. He glanced over at Angel, just waiting by the TARDIS, keeping a distance from Rose and her family. He caught her gaze for a moment before she looked away. Shut up! Rose nudged him back, far too relieved to think about what had happened or what she said, how she treated Angel, far too caught up in the excitement and the thrill of their victory, while smiling at the doctor. Look at him! Is it him, though? Jackie asked. Is it really the doctor? And then she noticed Harriet. Oh my god, it's the bleeding Prime Minister! Come here, you. The doctor walked towards them, going to hug the woman for a moment, when Rose and Mickey joined in. Oh, Jackie gasped. You better. I am. Yeah, he nodded. while looking over at Angel still standing apart. Don't you want to join us? Angel shook her head sadly, opening the TARDIS door behind her. I don't want to see this. She paused, looking back at his confused and hurt face, realized how he had taken her words, so she added, You won't either, before she threw one more glance at Harriet and Alex, stepping in and shutting the door behind her. Alex moved to Harriet just then. It's a message from Torchwood. They say they're ready. Harriet closed her eyes briefly, opening them to see the Doctor looking concernedly at the TARDIS. Rose and her family chatting happily behind him. You left me! Jackie turned to Rose. Sorry, she laughed. I had the rest of the food. The Doctor turned his gaze to Harriet, confused by Angel's word, knowing that the woman must have something to do with it all. Tell her to fire, she said. Fire at will, Alex called into his comm. Suddenly, a large green beam of light shot loudly from 5 points on the ground, connecting in the middle and shooting up at the retreating Cigarette ship, destroying it. And that is the end of Chapter 5, so hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, go leave a review, comment, goodness, all that. Don't need an account for any of them. Any of the website, I just don't, I think it means the author can't respond, I don't think, as far as I'm aware. So, but yeah, we're done here. So go show the author some love. But before you do, be sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video. Bye!